Good evening to those listen. It is now 11:22 p.m., March 16th, 2026. And here's some more Bible changes in Luke 20 and 21. And I got some NIV to check with. Verse 9, a certain man. Get that again, a certain man. Here's a good one. Verse 18, whosoever shall fall upon that stone shall be broken, but on whomsoever it shall fall, it will grind him to powder. In the NIV, it says, on whosoever it shall fall, they will be crushed. So that was kind of odd. Verse 20, and they watched him and sent forth spies which should feign themselves just men, that they might take hold of his words, that so they might deliver him unto the power and authority of the governor. And in the NIV, it says they sent forth spies who pretended to be sincere. So this was like they're disguising themselves to be just men so that the people wouldn't think they were spies. But very weird. All right, verse 21, and they asked him, saying, Master, we know that thou sayest and teachest rightly, neither acceptest thou the person of any. So no disregard of persons is what it was, but we got penny again. Show me a penny. And this one, I guess, was wrong, so don't pay attention to that, because I thought it was like saying Caesar is, God is, but it can be used that way. That's why I love this person that can help me with all the punctuation and some of the bad English, because I didn't know that part. Now here's where it gets weird with they went to Jesus and asked him about that if somebody got married and the husband died and then his brother came or somebody else came and took the wife and then another and another, there were 7 of them. And what happens? Who will be the one that will be with the wife in heaven? So this got very strange. There were therefore 7 brethren. The first took a wife and died without children. Neither me or the other person ever saw that in there where the person had children, or the woman had children, the couple, whatever, had children, and it was just never in there. What does the children have to do with anything about the wife? Who would be with the wife in heaven? And the second took her to wife, and he died childless. So the same thing with both. They both had no children and were both childless. And in like manner, the 7 also, and they left no children and died, and then the woman died. So the question was, therefore, in the resurrection, whose wife of them is she? For 7 had her to wife. And that's change and bad English. For 7 had her to wife. And then Jesus answered, and if you read this, it's like, what? It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense at all. So you guys can read it for yourself. It's Luke 20, 34 through 38. It's very strange, and it has absolutely nothing to do with the question. He's like, and the person for the NIV versions said that it used to just be like a quick answer, like a 1 or 2 sentence answer, that Jesus said that, that there is no husband-wife in heaven, so there is no one that would have that wife in heaven, because and then it just wait. It's this big, long, weird explanation, but it doesn't have anything to do with anything. It's really weird. Verse 39, we got then certain of the scribes. Verse 40, and after that they durst not ask him any question at all. And the NIV was, they dare not ask him any more questions. I forgot to write that one down. Verse 41, and he said unto them, how say they that Christ is David's son? And then we got another weird thing that doesn't make any sense that Jesus was talking about. So, and David himself saith in the book of Psalms, the Lord said unto my Lord. So the Lord was talking to himself. The Lord said unto my Lord, sit thou on my right hand. Not at my right hand, but now it's on again. There's a lot of changes with that. In the NIV, it still says at my right hand. But in the King James Version, a lot of them are now on, like Jesus is sitting on God's right hand, not at his right hand. And then, till I make my enemies thy footstool. 44 is David, therefore calleth him Lord. How is it he then is his son? And it's like, what? But Jesus is talking like in the third person. Like he's talking about Christ, like he was talking about a different person or a different God, I guess. I don't know. It's weird. I want you guys, if anybody happens to read the verses 34, I guess, through 44, let me know what you think, because it just doesn't make any sense. And, obviously read the whole chapter so you have a reference, but it just seems very, very, very odd. Very odd. Okay, and then we got one more verse here. I think I'm just going to cut these into another video after this, so it's not too long for one video, and I'm not trying to hurry up and cram in the other chapter in this video here. Verse 45, then in the audience of all the people he said unto his disciples. So it kind of reads like he was in the middle of a crowd, but in the other NIV, it was like he turned to the people. It was weird. So there's some weird stuff for sure in there. The next video, we can pick a word out of here. Trying to pick words that are really out there, I guess, kind of. Let's choose feign. All right. Maybe I should make this a little different. But there's like 2 in one day, and then we got so then it's going to be like wrong for that, because Luke is for the first one pound or pounds. I should have put pounds. So I should maybe change this around. Let's change it around. All right, I just changed it around. So instead of word of the day, we're going to have words of the day. And then I'll put down the days on this slot. And then the word. And then the word in cursive. And then the reference to where the Bible verse or verses are. How you like that? How you like me now? All right, sorry. But anyway, let's see how this experiment goes. We'll just keep on doing it, and then we'll check now this is going to be for the King James Version. Let me put that on there just to specify, so that way if anybody looks in a different translation, they'll say, oh my God, it's not there, or well, whatever, So this will be King James, and then we can also compare the other NIV and other versions too, but we'll try to, that's a lot to do, so I'm just going to stick with this part, with this experiment test, with the King James Version. So join along with the experiment if you'd like. Put down the word of the day and where it's found, so we can go back later. If it does change, then we can see if everybody that wrote it down, if it's still there, or if it's changed in our written words too, because that's the experiment. We've seen the Bible changes, and then is the change, the word that's changing, is it also changing in our written words? That's the test, because I think that could happen too, and then that's what's happening like with certain things that we're seeing in videos, because that's what happened. I could have sworn there was a change in one of the words, like straightway. That was the one. I thought it was spelled STRAIGTWAY, and then it changed to the straight STRAIGTWAY. So again, I can't prove it I could have sworn that's what happened. I won't swear, but I really thought that it was a change, and then I went back on the video, and it was changed on the video. I went back to the original video on my phone, and it changed also. So I don't know if it was actually a change at all. And if it was a change, that means it changed off of everything. It changed off of the pages in the Bible, and then it changed in the video on YouTube, and then on my original video that I had on my phone, if that was the case. So this will be another experiment to see if something changes, that if the words in our notebooks that we write down are changed. And don't forget the cursive one, just in case. Thanks for watching. God bless.